Here's a new album, hope you like it. If you don't, that's really drag. It's just called The World Is Yours because I thought it was a catchy set of words, that's all, you know, basically.
The truth is sure, hear the hammer knocking at your door. But you know it's all fairy tales, a heavy heart like a bag of nails. Stand up, show your face, another victim of the cold.
What can you control? You can control the room around you, possibly the chair. Outside that, it's kind of scary. Born to Lose, it came off a Hell's Angels tattoo years ago. I thought it was a catchy little number. Born to Lose, and I stuck Live to Win underneath it, you know. That's where that came from, yeah. Picture in the Easy Riders, I think it was. A long time ago. When I was young and foolish and untattooed.
Generally, over this whole record, it's a very typical kind of Motorhead record.
I'm proud of what my work on it and stuff. I don't know, I'm too close to it probably to say if it's a bit different. I know the album's more rock and roll than like heavy metal, I think.
Whatever you hear today is how we felt then. And if we would go in and write another record today, it would be completely different.
We're already in too much shit to ever dig ourselves out of it. That's my belief, and I think it's fucking hilarious, you know. I think it's hilarious that like that BP oil spill could happen after the global warming warnings have gone out, you know. I mean, those guys for $1,000 didn't repair that pipe. For $1,000, you know. How much they make a fucking day, BP? Jesus Christ, you know. And now they're all cleaning off the fucking cormorants again every year, you know, somewhere. It's incredible. I mean, we have no chance of stopping until it's too late, because it's already too late, in my opinion.
If I could find the cure, I wouldn't have to cry. I know the law, I know how to die. 1,000 years lost in time, out of shape and out of line.
It wrote itself, that song. I just, you know, sometimes they do, you know, sometimes they're easy. It's like we have the road cruise, 5 minutes. Pick a title and then see what you can work into it. But that one was really simple. Usually wait till the track's running, although I've done a couple before the track was written, but mostly just have to hear the music, you know, and you figure out where you're going to fit the vocal in and stuff. It's all from in there, really. I don't look out at the rolling countryside and think, a bird, you know.
He writes lyrics so quick and melodies that are really good, so he should really concentrate on that more than maybe just sitting with us, because we write very fast, and sometimes maybe too fast. I don't know, but it seems to work. Then of course Lemmy comes in and says, "What do you want me to write to this shit?" You know.
No more lies, no excuse.
Know How to Die, for instance. That song is, it's to me very driving, if you will, very typical Motorhead records. You just want to hop in a car and drive really fast and you want to bite down your knuckles.
Run to the core, hang me out to dry.
That's where they like you in line. People are getting more scared of losing their job. Seems to me over the last 20 years. Like at one time, you lose your job for your integrity and go get another one. We're all in jail now. I think they're worried about most of keeping up the payments on the fucking house. It's just another thing. Giving bonuses to the people who just fouled the goal from Mexico, you know. And like their own grandchildren are going to get, like, have to wear gas masks to go to fucking school, you know. And they still go on doing it, raking in the greedy dollar, you know. I can't believe it. I flat out can't believe it. That's who controls the government. You know, all them big guys control the government of the world completely. I mean, there's no fooling there, you know. Fucking pigs, to use an old-fashioned word. Never trust anybody over 35 except me.
No, it's just the sound that I wanted, you know, and I stuck with it. And Lem liked it, and Mickey liked it, so it's good.
We did this one really fast. And again, that's very spontaneous writing.
It's a good sound on it, yeah. It's not too prissy, I think. It's no oomph, for want of a better word. There you go. Oomph. 42 years playing the guitar, can't put a guitar string on and go oomph for a sound.
I mean, I'd much rather worship like Little Richard and Elvis Presley than fucking God, because God, I've never heard him sing a song yet. And even then, I'm sure he's off key. I'm sure the fucker's tone deaf. You know? The Beatles, you know, the biggest influence on me. Although you can't hear it in my head, but you can't hear influences anyway. The Everly Brothers were a big influence on me, but you can't hear that either. You know? Switch bits you take out of it and use yourself. You know?
Jimmy Page and Michael Schenker and Richie Blackmore, and you know, there's millions of amazing players around. And Tommy Emmanuel is an incredible guitar player, and Steve Vai and Satriani, and you know, there's just so much talent out there.
I mean, drummers like Ian Pace is probably the first main guy in Deep Purple, and you know, guys like Brian Downey, Thin Lizzy, you know, Neil Peart, Rush, Steve Smith, Journey, you know, oh my God, there's so many.
Buddy Holly, Eddie Cochran, a lot of dead people I like.
Well, they weren't dead when you liked them.
No, they weren't, that's true. But they were soon afterwards. I don't think it was my fault though. They sounded like they were having so much of a better time than I was, basically. And they probably were, you know, although you don't know when you're having a good time until the shit hits the fan, you know. Then you think, oh, I wish I'd paid more attention and I had no problems. You know. No, there's no point looking back, because you know what happened.
Rock and roll music is the true religion.
Of all the songs, the one that I had the hardest time reading was Waiting for the Snake. That seemed pretty grim to me. If I tell you that it felt like the end of a relationship.
How long have you been thinking like that? You're going to start talking like that? You press them even more than I do. It wasn't anything. It was like garbage. It was like nonsense. It is nonsense. If you read it, it's fucking nonsense. People will read things into songs. They're never in them. The best one was the song I wrote for Ozzy. I wrote "Mama, I'm Coming Home" for him, right? And then we were on tour with him somewhere in the States here doing the Ozfest. Somebody said, "That "Mama, I'm Coming Home" Ozzy is the most personal song we've ever heard you sing. What made you write it?" And he said, "Lemmy wrote it." Give him this big smile, it's funny as shit, you know.
I will have a laugh, many laughs every day. I insist, even at my own expense, I will laugh, you know. And I might say something, and you know, and one of the crew will say, "Oh, we've heard that joke before, Phil, loads of times." I said, "Yeah, but this person hasn't heard it before." And I don't care if I find it funny, as long as nobody's been hurt by it, as long as I find it funny, that's what makes me chuckle. I think it's a fuck it, you know, if the other people, everyone else don't laugh, then really.
I don't have any confidence in the ability of humanity to get itself out of this mess. We're just going to stay in it. Maybe edges of it will get a bit easier, but it's straight down the fucking toilet now. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
It's not my fault. I didn't do it. I just made him deaf, I didn't make him dumb. Disease upon the world, brotherhood of man, yeah. It's a nice little, it's a catchy little line, but it's true, you see. I think it's true. I mean, you talk about save the planet, arrogant bastards, you know. The planet's made out of fucking volcanoes, man. The planet isn't going anywhere, we are. What we're destroying is the bit we need to live on, which is fucking hilarious again, you know. I think it's hysterical. And people won't see it willfully because they don't want to see it, you know, because then the profit margin's gone. If they start living properly, then they make no money. People are only human. Well, actually, I'm legally a reptile, but I don't like to talk about it.
Sounds like Brotherhood of Man's one you're looking forward to playing live, right? That be the case?
Yeah, it's simple, it's all in E, so I can go and have a fag on the side at the same time. Yeah. That's gonna fucking, you need butt plugs to listen to that one as well as ear plugs.
Devil's in my head, you know, an admittance of craziness is what I came up with there, and an admittance.
You really? A bit obscure, that one, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Nobody's mad like me.
It seemed that everyone could empathise with that because everyone feels like that sometimes. You always feel you're the only nutter in the room.
Oh no, you're the only one that can see the elephant, right? Well, that's comforting too, isn't it? You're the only one. You think, well, the others will rescue me then. But they're all got the same elephant. Only it's just painted a different colour here and there, you know. I mean, it's all the same shit, man. Nothing's happening to stop the elephant being there, is it? First headbanger we ever had, it was Manchester Free Trade Hall. And this guy was doing, I don't know what he was doing, I looked down and there's this mask of blood came up with his teeth in it like that. He was like having the time of his life. Fucking concussion for days afterwards, I'm sure. Still, you know, give the people what they want, isn't it? On your side. Every family fights. Yeah? The only difference is on the bus you can't go to your room. Well, I can go to my room. When Eddie was in the band, him and Phil used to punch the fuck out of each other all the time.
I was in Paris years ago. I just bought a brand new pair of cowboy boots. And about 20 minutes before we got on stage, I said, "Filthy, you drum like a fucking cunt." And he punched me, and it was a step in the dressing room area. And still got a steel plate in there, so I had to do like straight off to hospital then. And then I came back and I couldn't put my foot down. I had to do 3 weeks worth of gigs with sitting in the chair, like, little planks around me and everything. It was all right, at least I got to sit down.
One time I had this toothache and I was banging my head on the side of the van, it was so bad, right on the way to Brighton, fucking top rank. And on the way, they were fighting in the back all the way there, right? They'd stop for a bit and then, you know, start again. Terrible scrappers, obviously. And like, we got there and I said, "Okay, you're on stage, okay, hit it." And they went, "Okay." And we went on stage, we did the show. Eddie with a black eye rising on him, you know. And then coming off the stage down the steps, Phil hitting in the back of the head with a drumstick. And they started again in the dressing room right there. It's amazing, you know. And it was over, I mean, I'm sure they don't even remember, you know, rubbish.
I have earned my stripes, that's for sure, after 20 years. It feels good, you know, I'm happy as long as we're all having a good time, then this will continue, you know.
Nobody's crazy like me. I know the nights are lying.
Well, I have the death veto, you know, I mean, I can sort of use the presidential veto if I really have to, but I don't like to use it. You know.
Storm to the infected dawn.
When I was a kid, it was Westerns. We didn't have all this special car blowing up and all that. 10,000 police cars falling over. We had Kirk Douglas. And that was all we needed, because we knew Kirk would save the day. a Jewish kid from Poland had saved the day in a cowboy hat.
Dreamer sent to hell, just like movies, time to move.
Kurt Douglas, Burt Lancaster, all them guys. That loomed large in our legend back then. And you couldn't get the shirts then, you get them now, see. You see, in my time it was easier. It was us and the police. That's it, you know. Now everybody's your potential enemy. They've got us all cut up into handy bits they can move around and set against each other to take our sensibilities away from the fact that it's them.
Well, we know what we want to sound like, you know, so it's like it's difficult to put into words, but we know what our band needs and what we want to sound like, and we just do it, like, you know. It's one of them things that just happens, like.
Strike it to the bone. He's a voodoo Medusa.
I just had the phrase, you know. I know what you need. I know what you are. I know what you need. You find that if you go through your life and you notice everybody you come in contact with, about 2/3 of them aren't fit to shine your fucking shoes, you know. It's true. It's a shame, you know, but it's true. It's about somebody running around with a guy who's been trying to be faithful, you know, and then he finds out about it and he's pissed off, as who wouldn't be? Because guys find it a lot easier to run around a lot of the time than women do. Although with multiple orgasms in the picture, I don't know how. But I've certainly been screwed over by women just as bad as any man ever screwed a woman over, you know. I mean, women aren't these shrinking little violets, you know, they're people, you know. They fucking spec in the mouth just as soon as anybody else will, you know. See, I've always said men bungle and blunder, but women plot. That's the basic difference, I think. Because if you piss a woman off enough, they stop at nothing.
Make your life a misery. Make you shut your mouth. Gonna tell a tale on you. Make your blue eyes cry.
I can tell you a lot of things you don't know about Motorhead stuff. You know, most bands are that. They come into town and they steal your girlfriend and they fucking leave again, you know. And they give you that hour and a half of like 10 feet tallness that you don't get in the machine shop, you know. It's an underdog thing, you know. If you're like somebody who never has a hit, you can comfort yourself by getting together with your mates and saying, well, it should have been, isn't it, that, you know, and all that. You know, you love to have your own band that nobody else knows about when you're a kid, don't you, you know.
Being proud of our music, you know, and not taking any bullshit, and having a good time, you know, and trying to make people laugh, right, you know.
He is so truly rock and roll, you know, rock. His whole body, his whole thing. And why I said that is because that whatever, it makes it very easy to be around him and to deal with him. Everything is based from rock.
Just putting a band before everything else, you know, just the music's what counts.
Let's talk about things that make you happy.
Women 17 to 25, basically. There's so many of them, you see. It's amazing, it's marvellous. The way it stacks it up, you know. The rotor of one to the other is just unbelievable, it's brilliant. Yeah, I'd rather hang out with girls and guys. They have more tits than guys do.
Hopefully.
Well, certain guys,
Yeah.
they pulled a guy out of the house with a crane the other day on TV. They had to demolish his fucking windows to get him out of his room. It's £500. Jesus Christ, he just kept coming out, you know.
I asked Lem for his autograph when I was 12 when he was with Hawkwind.
Yeah,
I've still got it on the programme, the Hawkwind programme.
I'm very lucky with my job, see. I mean, I fought hard for it and had to go through a lot of hardship for it, but nothing compared to some poor bastard who has to go to the factory every day of his life and work at a job he despises. Because that's death, that is. Spiritual death.
We know each other so well that we've been at compromise. Like, we thought it was a wise move, and it's only because it's for the best. Like, we have separate dressing rooms, and think about it, it makes sense, right? Somebody like Lem might want to read you know, read. Somebody might want to go to sleep before the show. Somebody might want to have some friends around them, you know, practice and stuff like that. So it just makes sense. There's not, people think, oh, you have separate dressing rooms. Don't you guys get on with each other? No, it's not a case.
So what does it mean? I mean, it means that I can stand really straight after every show. That's important, you know. I go, it's not a competition, but I proved for myself. And I'm on that couch and I can't even think of going up on stage. And then I go up and do the best show I've done for a long time. And that means that I still have what it takes to go up and do it. And this whole band, everything around this band is in that way, you know. We might not be in the best shape or form, you know, all the time, but when it's time to go on stage, there's really nothing around, no circumstances, nothing that can affect the outcome of what the evening's going to be like.
One thing, I mean, you seem, you know, I know this is probably uncomfortable to talk about, but you are a figurehead and you are an icon to many people.
An icon, yes. I'm a small Russian religious painting, yes. I think it's fucking hilarious, though. You know, I can't take it seriously. I mean I'm too old to be a fucking icon for 20-year-olds, you know.
Really lucky, you know, 3 old bastards, you know, we get 8-year-olds coming to the shows and, you know, 97, 98-year-olds coming to the shows. We're just lucky, and I think it must be because the music's good. I think at the end of the day, right, you know, and they like the performance. I would love to see us live. Yeah, I can watch a video and stuff, but it's not the same. People say so much energy out there. I say, oh God, are you sure about that? Because I'm knackered, like, you know.
I can't do it any other way. That's how it is. You know, drive Mickey crazy and Phil, because they want to, you know, do all the right things to be successful, and, you know, I don't care. You know, because if you have to sell your heart, then you're the worst prostitute the world's ever seen, aren't you?
I'm just proud that I turned up at the right studio every day.
If you buy this album, huge naked women will push themselves upon you all night long.